Grandview women's basketball coach Garey Smith joining us now. And Garey, another outstanding year for the basketball team, back-to-back conference champions, back-to-back tournament champions, and another Sweet 16 make at the national tournament.
I bet you didn't expect that, did you?
Oh, no.
The kind of a surprise. If you had asked me before Christmas, I would have told you there's no way we're going to win the conference or anything like that. And then, as a credit to the kids, they got themselves together, and we played very, very well down the conference run and the conference tournament, and actually pretty well in the national tournament.
Well, let's focus on the last game, or let's focus on the win first in Sioux City over Purdue-Calumet, 58-44. Obviously, a defensive gem for your team.
Correct. We looked at them and figured out some things to do defensively that would make things real interesting for them. And it was funny listening to the kids' comments about the Purdue-Calumet kids, comments to them on the line, you know, come on, move the ball faster, shoot the ball quicker, you know, those kinds of things. It's kind of funny. One of the kids finally said before we took all the kids, main players out of the early, they said to him, they says, well, look at the scoreboard. Why do we want to do that? You know, and for a team that is averaging 80+ points, that had to be very frustrating to them. And we really limited their three-point shots, and great plan, executed very well by the players.
Now, Indiana Wesleyan, that was the team that won the national championship eventually. You followed them in their Sweet 16 round. Game was tied at 15 at halftime, and then it was just one of those nights for the team where they just couldn't buy a bucket.
The defense, if you know, I've looked at that tape a couple times just to figure out, you know, was there something I could have done differently? And there were no uncontested shots until we got you know, down where we gave them 3 layups in a row and fouled them. And probably should have subbed a little sooner in there and got a fresh body in there. Might have played, you know, a couple of them a little longer than I should have, and because they had taken that away from them basically the whole contest, and then all of a sudden we have that breakdown, and instead of a 1-point game, you're looking at a 10-point game, and school's out against good teams when that happens. But probably most people thought we put basketball back at least 40 years, but when you have the, you know, 2 of the top-ranked defensive teams, well, you can expect something like that.
Yeah, the lowest scoring game in the combined score in the history of the women's Division II national tournament in that contest, 49-27. But for the 3rd straight year, you had a All-American, of course, Jen Jorgensen the last 2 years, and Morgan Hamner was second-teamer this year.
She was. If you saw Morgan as a junior and then saw her this year, you wouldn't recognize her. She went on a program to increase her muscle mass, and also she lost over 70 pounds, and that really helped her quickness. She also was our highest 3-point field goal percentage person. You usually don't see that out of a post player. And we challenged her because before Christmas she got virtually no rebounds. And after Christmas, well, then she had a lot of double-doubles where she just went to the boards. And she had a pretty good year.
You recognize your other seniors, Amy Voss, Abby Mendlick, Lena Locks, and Carissa Schindler?
The one I really feel sorry for was Carissa. You know, she was playing just lights out and then ripped the Achilles. And she's passed her nursing board, so she'll move on to her next career. Amy Voss has been, you know, all league for 4 years. She didn't have a real great scoring this year, but she was probably our best defensive person. She shut down people in the conference that were big-time scorers and kept them down in single digits, did a heck of a job there, and also did a nice job on the boards. Abby was one that played well at times and then struggled at times, but I thought when she needed to, she seemed to be able to do whatever we needed to have her do to get us the W. And Lena's Lena. You know, she has athletic skills. Sometimes she could light you up, and sometimes she couldn't light you up. And we see that a lot on a lot of kids that are good scorers. They just sometimes just don't have it. But yeah, that group was a very, very talented group to work with.
Again, Morgan Hammer also named the Player of the Year in the league, and Coach Smith was named Coach of the Year in the MCC this year. Now talking about next year briefly, Gary, the core nucleus you have coming back, led by Shelby Beatty, Chelsea Kroll, Haley Biancalana, and Ashley Zobel.
As you can tell there, we've got some firepower coming back. We think that we will be able to, after the first part of the year, when we figure out who we are, we'll be able to go. Believe it or not, we could start 6-3, 6-3, 6-1 in the back line if we wanted to next year. Got a 6'3" freshman coming in that's pretty talented, and then got one who set out this year because of some things that were going on in her life, and now she's back working out with us. So Amy is working pretty hard right now, and we think we'll be okay. We guard-wise, point guard-wise, we've got some people we think that'll fill in and take care of business, and Zob and Chelsea can score. We just got to have them be a little more inclined to look for shots and taking off the bounce to the rack and make things happen in there, and that's kind of the things we're working on right now.
Well, Gary, obviously this is an elite program, 2 Elite Eights and a Sweet 16, 3 of the last 4 years. Congratulations on your back-to-back conference championship, and keep the train rolling.
Well, it all boils down to players, and Grandview's a great place to help us attract great players, and we really appreciate that.
That's Grandview women's basketball coach Garey Smith.
Thanks, Jeff.